Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. What you're looking at right now is me drawing what am I drawing? I'm drawing Inktober 2025 prompts. This one right here is the first prompt, day 1. At the moment it is October 2. And I am a day late, and you're probably gonna see this on the 3rd, so I am probably extremely late to Inktober, but that's not the point. The whole point is that I'm drawing, and that's the most important part of, I'm assuming, Inktober. So today I felt like talking about something that was on my mind for a while. Something that was really, I guess not bothering me, but it's bothering me. The fact that I am someone that really enjoys watching scary things, quote unquote scary. But I feel like, not that I feel like, okay, I know, how do I explain this? Well, I've noticed that I don't get scared anymore. Things don't scare me anymore. Like, things in the media. Not talking about like news or the stuff coming out on TV. I'm talking about the stuff like we would watch on YouTube, or maybe even scary movies. And I think this also bleeds into video games. What I'm trying to say is that those things don't scare me as much as they used to before. And when I want a good scare, it is so hard to actually go and find these things. Well, I want to say a few weeks ago, I was speaking to my husband, and we were ready to like go to sleep, but before going to bed, I suggested, "Hey, let's watch a scary movie." And he's like, "Okay, go pick one." And I'm like, "No, you pick one, because obviously I don't know what's scary anymore." So getting someone else's opinion on what is considered scary is better, because then I'm not expecting it unless it's a movie I've already watched. But I told him, pick the scariest movie you think is out there, or whatever's on. I think we were looking at Amazon Prime videos. And he couldn't pick any. So that's when I came to the conclusion to, when was the last time I've ever been scared of a movie or video? I don't want to include video games right now, because a lot of video games rely a lot on jump scares, and I don't want to include jump scares into this, because jump scares are cheap scares. I don't care. That's what people use when they don't know what else to do to scare someone, so they just pop out in the corner and they scare you. Nah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something like a story that's so deep and so rich that I'm scared to my core. And that's something I haven't felt in so long when it comes to watching anything. The last time I truly felt scared watching something, a movie this time. No, it was not The Conjuring. It wasn't any of the Conjuring movies. Conjuring movies, yes, it was spooky to watch, but it wasn't one of those movies where I needed to walk out of the movie theater because I am terrified. Like, I'm looking for something like that. But the last time I felt scared like that was when Insidious 2 came out on Netflix for the very first time. I think I was in high school. Probably maybe 11th grade, I want to say. I didn't get to watch this movie when it came out in theaters. So when it came out on Netflix, I was actually really excited to watch it. So what I decided to do, any teenager at that time, not sleeping early, decided to wait till everyone fell asleep, and I went to my room, turned off the lights, got ready, like if I was falling asleep too as well. But no. I took out my phone and I went onto Netflix and I pressed Insidious 2. I got to the part where I don't know if she's playing the piano. I remember like she's downstairs and she's, I think, unpacking, she's doing her thing, and the baby walker gets pushed by something and she freaks out, and then I freaked out. I don't know what it was about that movie. Maybe it was my young mind or whatever it was. I was so scared that like I paused the movie and I was like, I cannot continue watching this movie right now. This is terrifying. I am scared. I cannot watch this. It could have been the fact that it was nighttime, I was alone. I couldn't tell if whatever I was hearing in the movie was in the movie or it was in my room. Like at that time, my house was actually pretty scary, but that is another story. That is not this one right now. That's for another time. So I got scared and I put the movie away and I said to myself, I'm gonna watch it while I'm in school. Really responsible of me, I know. Well, before this strange phenomena, I used to binge watch a lot of creepypasta videos on YouTube when I was younger. So this is like way before Insidious 2. I remember I would, on my iPod Touch, not even a phone, because my phone at that time didn't have stuff like that. I would watch creepypastas, or at least listen to creepypastas on YouTube, and that right there was my holy grail. I was fascinated and in love. I was not, I want to say, those creepypastas fanatics where I would draw them. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know, you know. But no, I was more like intrigued with it. I was wondering, I'm like, how does someone come up with these type of stories? Like, what kind of mindset do you have to be in to come up with something so intricate? But I will, my favorite creator at the time was Mr. Creepypasta, and I would binge watch his videos like my life depended on it. And those creepypastas, even though some of them had to do with like video games or things that I would never probably come into contact with, those did scare me. Those scared me a good amount that I would be scared to like go to the bathroom at night, because what if I start hearing whatever I'm hearing in those videos? Or what if someone taps my shoulder while I'm walking down my dark hallway? You know, like, oh my gosh, that is so scary. I can't even think about that. And Mr. Creepypasta opened up like a whole new world for me, because I want to say before Mr. Creepypasta, like the oldest memories that I've had of me searching up something scary that I'm not supposed to was those really old YouTube videos of real ghosts caught on camera, real ghosts caught on pictures, and then it'll have like that song. I don't know, that song that every YouTube video countdown used to have back then. The same little tune. I feel like if you know what I'm talking about, you would know what song I'm talking about. Even though looking back, now I know that those videos were fake, of course. Like, yeah, potato quality camera, with a ghost peeking out from the corner or a gnome crossing your lawn. But little me didn't know that, and that was really scary for me at the time. And that was my one of my favorite pastimes was doing that. These videos at the time were considered so scary that I was scolded by some adults and told I should be reading the Bible instead of watching these videos. That makes me laugh. Little do they know, I barely knew how to read. But I sure did know how to spell scary ghost videos, and that's all that mattered to me at that time. That was the most important things for me at the time. So basically, ever since I had access to the internet, I have been exposing myself to scary content. And as a child, like a little kid, the scariest thing was horror movies. This is the perks of having older siblings. I have a older sister 6 years older than me, and a brother that is 2 years older than me. But the best part of having also no adult supervision constantly, I was exposed to a lot of horror movies that I had no business watching. And you know what? There's no fault in my older siblings for showing these to me, because at the same time they were also children. So it kind of makes it funny. But the movies that I watched when I was little, for example, were Chainsaw Massacre, Dawn of the Dead, Jeepers Creeper, The Grudge, The Ring, and everything in that same category. But what I'm trying to say is that maybe because I was surrounded by horror media practically my whole life, now at my age, I'm already so used to it and conditioned not to be scared. But that's not including like video games. Like there's some video games that are terrifying. But like I said before in the beginning of the video, that most of those games rely on jump scares. I think a game that I've always wanted to play, but I couldn't, and I couldn't even watch someone play it, not because it was scary, but because of the motion. I have horrible motion sickness when it comes to like video games with, I think, first person view, especially if the first person is looking through a stupid camera. And that game is Outlast. The first one, the second one, I don't know how many other Outlasts there is, but I've always wanted to watch and play Outlast because I remember people telling me, oh my gosh, it's so freaking scary. That one of them was banned somewhere because it was so messed up, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, I want to watch that, I want to play that. Yeah, I couldn't. I think this is the second game. Maybe less than 20 minutes into the game, I had to turn away. I thought I was gonna puke. I could not handle it. I don't know how anyone can play a game and constantly stare. I'm convinced that people are not even watching the game when they're playing it. They're just looking away. They're listening. They're just it's all luck. That's how they know how to like get to where they need to go. But I could not. I was dying. Here I'm dying of nausea, sucking on a lemon because I couldn't play those games. And I think the last game I actually played that was considered scary is the first Dead Space game. That one also has like a lot of jump scares, but I guess like because I'm expecting the jump scares and then I don't know what's coming up into the like what's in the corner because of the jump scares, I guess that's considered scary. Well, I guess if it's jump scares that make video games scary, Minecraft is fucking scary too. Minecraft is terrifying if you're playing hard mode or even normal mode. Like, you can't even go into those mines, the caves, without something blowing up behind you. But I digress. What something that I haven't explored yet of scary content and scary media is books. That is something I've always wanted to get into. I have been reading a lot more recently, but my books that I read are either vampire related because why not? And I want to read books. I convinced myself, maybe because I couldn't read as a child, but I've convinced myself that books can't be scary. And I know I'm wrong because I've heard so many people say yes they can and they're terrifying. And I want to be one of those people too. I want to read a book that is scary, that I have to close it because I'm terrified of continue reading. Not because it's suspenseful, because there's a lot of books that are suspenseful, and I have closed them before because I don't want to know what happens afterwards. But I want a book that scares me. And I'm an adult. I can read. I can do it. I want to read a spooky book. Going back to the YouTube talk, I only have like less than a handful of creators that I watch that are considered scary. So one of them is Nuke's Top 5, the other one is Nexpo, and the other one is Nick Crowley. And the other channel is just Nick Crowley and Nexpo together. But that's the only ones I really consider scary. But they're like scary in the sense that it's creepy. And I love creepy. But the only thing that's been keeping me like up and enjoying some scary content is analog horror, and I think that is pretty scary, but I haven't found any good analog horror videos since it first started becoming like extremely popular, and then now everyone's just like crapping out analog horror content, but it looks like they're not even trying. So I always stick to like the ones I like I said, Nexpo produces pretty good analog horror content, and also Nick Crowley. Even though if it's not analog horror, they always have that vibe of analog horror, which is something I'm always looking for. As an adult, it's easy for me to understand what I'm watching now. Everything that I've seen on YouTube or in movies are most definitely fake. And because I know they're fake, I'm already prepared that whatever I'm watching is gonna be fake. And I know it's fake. And that right there is something that I did not have the concept of as a child. I did not know that something was fake. I believed the things I was watching was real. And I believe that childlike innocence is what made me believe that a lot of things were actually scary. And that is getting older. There are no more monsters under the bed or in the closet or even behind the shower curtain. Right now, those are just memories. And that's all I have to say for today. Thank you for staying and listening to my rambles. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and don't forget to check behind the shower curtain. Alright, goodbye.